The psycho in Unit 88 has been getting really aggressive against the wall throughout the afternoon while I've been cleaning and doing some organizing. And no, I'm not making any noise. I'm not vacuuming or dragging furniture around. But he keeps slamming things against the wall. So there's actually so much water coming out of the shower, you can actually see it on the video. But there's no water coming out of my own shower head. So the problem is not with the water flow to this floor, see? Now you don't see it anymore. Now you see it. Now you don't. So there's no water coming out of my shower head. I mean, it is like literally a few drops. He always knows when I have my camera on somehow. I don't know how, but he suddenly stops as soon as I pick up my camera and start filming, which means, again, what everybody keeps saying and have been saying for years, including maintenance managers who said, oh yeah, there are surveillance devices in your unit. We don't have access to the footage. So the psycho piece of shit next door suddenly gets really quiet as soon as I start filming. That's just weird because I start filming when I am inside of my door, not out in the hallway. How in the world could he possibly know what I'm doing on my phone, right? That's the same piece of shit who kept calling my private number approximately 8 months ago and telling me that he could watch me sleep. How did he have my private number, and how does he know to call my phone when I'm about to go to sleep? And then he would call my phone and say that he watches me when I sleep. Same voice. I mean, it's the same piece of shit that's been screaming stuff through the door for 2.5 years now. His name is Jason DaCosta, according to the Boston police. I don't know anything about him. I used to think his name was Kevin. Maybe it's still Kevin. Maybe one of those two names is not the right name. And he shouts things through the door. So I know exactly what his voice sounds like because he's always shouting stuff through the door when I don't have my phone on, usually when I'm not filming. Which is weird because, again, how does he know whether or not I'm using my phone, right? Rather, using the camera on my phone to record what goes on around me. How does he know when that camera is being turned on or off? Well, he can if there's surveillance devices in this unit, as everybody keeps saying and as everybody has been telling me for 10 years now, including Oleg Alisseyev, the property manager, who claimed that Jasmine Irizarry was a surveillance expert, a talented hacker who could get into anything. And that she can take care of any problem. So, you know, Oleg and Irizarry, the criminal masterminds of what the craziness that goes on in this unit, obviously the property manager has something to do with it. They have to know what goes on in their building, and they know who lives in the building, and they know who they place and where they place them. Those are things that I don't have any access to in terms of information. I can only guess at what people's names are unless the police tell me what it is, or there's some kind of public information about who lives in what units, or maybe the inspectional services have access to who lives in what unit, but I don't. So I can only guess as to what people's names are and in which units they live. My point is, I have no idea who that piece of shit is, but I do know what his voice sounds like, and I know what the police tell me about him, which is that his name is Jason DaCosta. Sex offender, DMH-sponsored psycho scum who can't leave women alone, obviously. Yeah, no, he's totally quiet. As soon as I pick up my camera and start filming, that's when he shuts up. But throughout the afternoon, while I've had my phone charging and was doing other stuff, he was repeatedly, violently slamming things against this wall, even though I was basically just standing at my sink washing clothes and washing dishes and gathering some recycling, which did not make any noise. He was repeatedly slamming something really hard against this wall. He's a mentally disturbed piece of shit, never leaves his unit, is legally confined to his unit from, law enforcement or some kind of court order or house arrest, and he is a child molester. That is straight from the law enforcement.